Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You are now joining G6 on the guest list. G6 is the founder of Money Train Management and the studio head at Billy & Schmidt Studio. This man is an entrepreneur in every facet, and he has dove into the music and film industry. He's also has some history with songwriting, producing, directing, acting, and modeling. I'm very excited for this conversation. So thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Dude, you are by a purebred entrepreneur, and it seems like you've dove headfirst into the music industry.
Most definitely.
We'll go. There's so many different directions we could go, but I'll propose you with this first question.
Talk to me.
Is your main motivating factor driven by entrepreneurism or your love for the music industry?
My number one driving force is God.
Okay.
Number two driving force is my family. Number three would be the ultimate goal of just trying to be fluid. I want to be water. Bruce Lee. If I can literally adapt to everything that's around me, then I win.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
You have to be malleable.
Exactly.
In every sense.
And that's the only way that I can help everybody else, because I know my purpose.
Okay.
That's why God put me here.
So let's build some context then. We'll go to the back. What was your childhood like? Were you entrepreneurial when you were younger?
I mean, I'm an only child, so I guess in a sense,
here
I
too.
really didn't.
Right
well, there
here.
you go. I didn't really have a choice. I mean, entrepreneur, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I come from an only child situation. Dad wasn't there. Mom, she did what she was supposed to do. Quintessential black woman, single mom, taking care of me, holding it down. We moved from DC. Boom, went to Beverly Hills, kind of like a quintessential Fresh Prince situation. That doesn't really happen. He was light skinned, I'm dark skinned, so I did it a little more smooth. But that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Went to, but my mom didn't want me being on Square. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I went to West Angeles, which was on 30th and Crenshaw, but it was a private school. So it was she always made sure that I had the organization and kept everything in order. And had the balance.
Okay, I like that.
And West Angeles, it was like a performing arts school. You know, it was a church and it was a private school. You know, so it was really popular. Denzel Washington, Magic Johnson, a whole bunch of celebrities would go there. So I would always do Christmas pageants, plays, things of that nature. Always speech meets, anything with public speaks. And my mom, and my mom was really, really like, she was just hands-on. You know, I didn't have a dad, so she put, you know, role models around me and male figures around me, Boy Scouts this, basketball this, and she was like really hands-on. And she didn't even keep no men around. She didn't bring like for 19 years, my mom wasn't even about none of that. She wasn't bringing no men around. I never seen no suckers around, because she always wanted me to just look at her. And, you know, so she never wanted me to look at her that light. So that was her blueprint. So, you know, I've retired my mom about almost 3 years ago, and it looks like it worked, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
That's the stocks, right? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a junk bond. No junk bond here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, that is the perfect metaphor right now, especially in today's climate. But
exactly.
It's good to look at our parents and notice the things that they did for us when we were younger to set us up on this entrepreneurial path and the like-mindedness. Like I always say, as an only child, we didn't get to experience what our siblings' failures would be, right? That's how I see a lot of brothers and sisters tend to grow, as they see their failures, because the first child is generally like the juvenile child, and then by the third child, it's generally like the smart one who succeeds.
That's true. And the first child, from what I experienced, they feel like the experiment. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? So the experiment is a question mark. That ain't a period. That ain't a comma. That ain't a dash. That you don't know. So, you know, that kind of comes out, you know, so I noticed that. Then you got the middle child. That's another question mark. Everything is shrugged shoulders. So it's like when you're an only child, you either going to fall the fuck off, or you're going to focus in. Ain't nobody else around you. So do what you're supposed to do.
Yep. And then your parents get to set up everything around you and teach you. I always say the greatest thing my mother ever did for me was teach me how to read and write by the age of 4. So by the time I got into kindergarten, I was so far ahead of everybody. And you're able to grow, and you didn't have to focus necessarily on the kindergarten curriculum. You could kind of just look at society and see different things. Because
that's the number one teacher, experience. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody has a different aptitude of teaching. You know, I was in school to that nature, and then my mom put me in homeschool because she's like, you know, think outside the box. But that was back in the 90s. Obviously, now we know there is no box. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I totally understand. You know, that's what it's about. It's always about like focusing in on that. You know what I'm saying? Once you know the type of child that you have, you know, do what would help them. It's not about the child versus the teacher or the environment. It's about what's the best learning for them. That's what my mom taught me.
Completely. Was it her decision to put you in a school academy that's based around entertainment and the arts?
Well, not at that time. At that time, my mom was like, you ain't got no daddy, so we're going to let Jesus run his house. You feel me? So she was like, let's let God be that foundation. And then she learned as a part of that, like, oh, they have a Boy Scout situation. They have a rites of passage. They have different programs. They have a Haleo tribe. They have a step team. Then she was like, okay, I can leverage this. And then she saw that I liked it, like I was like a fish to water with anything. My mom always says at preschool, like right when I came through, she's like, right when I let her hand go, it was no coming back. Like, so she always, that's kind of how my mom sees it. It's just a different way. And I don't really see that many, especially now, like they don't take that type of time. I see a lot of women talking about that. Like they want to put that type of time, just like they talk about the type of man they want, but we know what they end up with and we know what they like. You know what I'm saying? It's the dichotomy of that is, not so much, but
so true. There's so many distractions in today's world now where a mother has to keep up her image on Instagram.
Exactly.
She wants to put her child all over Instagram.
Right.
And something I noticed is that a lot of the more successful, or we'll just call them higher level thinkers, they tend to keep their kids off of Instagram because they don't want that kind of pressure put on the kid.
Exactly.
If they're always stigmatized or they're given some sort of brand that kid doesn't want to grow up to be into.
Right. That's true.
Then so you have to let them be themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I grew up in Beverly Hills and I noticed that a lot about like my friends, like they were living up to what their parents wanted. My mom wasn't about that. She was about do what you want to do what makes you happy. So she put me in everything, whatever I liked. But then it's like entertainment and business, everything it goes hand in hand. And once you kind of realize like the person that you are and the things that you're attached to, it kind of makes you like that's the broad spectrum of everything. I really am everything. I'm a Pisces. So, my sign is literally a little bit of every sign. So that's really who I am. I'm a little bit of everything anyway. So it just always worked out like that.
And now where society's evolved, entertainment surrounds us. Even
because
social
nothing
media
can
platforms,
happen. Yeah,
everything.
Exactly. Nothing can pop off without an entertainment factor, especially now hip hop now. Like it has to be some rap attached to it. It has to be some music attached to it. Like, back in the days, the Super Bowl didn't have to have, a hip hop artist per se, but now you have to. It's a part of the culture. Everything's a part of the culture now. So it's just different. Look at the different stocks and stuff and the different platforms that are pushing things. It's not just TMZ, it's different like hip hop situations that are actually changing the narrative. So it's a crazy time right now. It's really a crazy time.
You're really seeing everything evolve and kind of combine at the same time. Like before we started recording, we were talking about Wall Street bets, right?
Exactly.
And you see there's an entertainment factor in Wall Street bets with memes and meme stocks, but there's also that community sense.
Exactly.
And now there's like 7 million or more people part of that subreddit.
Exactly.
And that together, there's the entertainment factor where they get to be cynical and they get to make fun of people who lose money, but then they get to be happy about it and they can flourish as well. So it's cool
everything you're saying is the manipulation of it. Because now it's just, do you have strings on you or are you pulling the strings? But what's the, what you're eating or you're on the menu? What we doing? Like, where are you at? So that's what I like. It's like, it's all based on you. What do you want to do? Are you about it or not? And I like the thing with you, Jake, I like about you focusing on entrepreneurs. And I think one of the focuses that we should all make is everybody's pushing entrepreneurship, which sounds cool. But once you understand and you have a literacy for it, you'll understand if it's actually for you. And that's where I think because it can't be too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And understanding that the global economy, the creative economy, and all these things is happening. But let's keep everything in perspective, please. We don't want you know what I mean?
I'm so glad you said the creative economy. I've said this 100 times on this podcast.
Oh, for sure. I got that from my artist, man. And I think I might have seen that in one of your, but I got that from my artist. He put me on that, man, because that's what he specializes in. But keep going, man.
Yeah, sure. I actually stole the term from Naval and some of these Silicon Valley people because they're literally at the cutting edge of where this technology culture is going.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I was just talking about this with one of the previous guests. We were indoctrinated by this 40-hour work week, right? Because they want us to be modern. They want us to be modern day wage slaves.
Yep.
But with the creative economy, we can profit off of ourselves, and we realize that we don't have to be territorial, and we can profit together in a collaboration. Hence, like Wall Street bets and some of these other places. So as we evolve, we don't need this 40-hour work week. So I'm trying to get people out of this mindset because sometimes we feel anxious or anxiety because, we got everything done in 3 hours for the day and we're like, what else do I need to do?
True.
But you don't need to. Use that time for self-betterment. Go read a book, go to the gym. Use think of these activities of self-betterment as part of the job, especially when an entrepreneur, when it comes down to you.
That's a good way to think about it, because basically what you're saying is focus in and don't stray. Don't stray when you have the opportunity. These opportunities, these technological opportunities, you to be able to do things like this. Come on, man. Like, I mean, come on. Could you imagine? I mean, I couldn't imagine having Instagram 10, 15, 20 years ago, like when I was like, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild. But you can take it in your own hands,
Yep. The best part of being an entrepreneur is that you're aware that there are going to be pivots down the road.
Variable change, man. Variable change every
be malleable.
second. Yeah. Yes. Exactly, man. I'm gonna have to borrow that one.
Yeah, be malleable, man.
That sounds like some X-Men term. That sounds like something Professor X would say.
It's just the way that society progresses. As you said, we couldn't even fathom an Instagram. Think of the way that technology progresses. It's exponential, and the technology curve increases. So what we couldn't fathom or conceive of Instagram in 15 years, there's going to be something like that in 5 years.
Well, yeah, just like now, like how Clubhouse, like, remember, Instagram was popping and it was on the iPhone, and it was just an app that people didn't even worry about, and it just took pictures. It started I mean, I was ahead of this because I always just kept the cameras rolling, man. Like, that's what we was about. That's the whole money train management situation with my management company. It's just like, just keep it rolling, keep the cameras going. You feel me? You see the cameras is always rolling, because like one moment you don't want to miss it. It's like, you rather have it rolling and then you can edit it out than that moment is there and you missed it.
So
you know what I'm saying? So it's just, all of those opportunities, man. That's what changes. That's a game changer,
Staying ahead of the game. Everything is content now. And before I started the podcast in April, I wasn't big on content creation.
Right.
Personally, I thought it was a cop-out.
Right.
But
everybody did into the quarantine. See, like I said, if I'm sure you did your homework, man. I've been doing independent radio, and I've been doing this for almost 15 years. Before it was quote unquote cool to do. See, it's like a lot of people playing NBA in the bubble now just because we're in the bubble. Nah, we was shooting in the gym 15 years ago because we saw it. You feel me? That's being a visionary. That's being, and not like entrepreneur. You have to be all of those things. Entrepreneur isn't just one word that is synonymous with one thing. So, for people out there watching, break that word down, really figure it out, really do your homework, then see if it's up to you. My mom, for instance, knows what an entrepreneur is, and she always says, gee, I know the work that came with that, and I didn't want to do it. My mom sees herself like, God put me here to put you in these certain positions. Now that you're in these positions, you put me in a better position, and now I'm in position to put my son in a different position, and just things of that nature. That's what, the financial freedom is about, right?
I've noticed a ton of people use entrepreneur loosely, and there's a ton of different meanings. Yeah. What is your definition of an entrepreneur?
No worries. 2 words for me.
Okay.
For G6, no worries. And that's whatever it means. That doesn't hold a numeric value. That doesn't, it's just like dreams. Whatever your dreams are is that. If you feel like you quote unquote made it, you made it. People live up to the expectation of these words of what they mean or what they're supposed to mean. And that's the box. There is no box. What movie is that? I have no bird. I have no bush. Like, there is no box. You know what I'm saying? And when you confine yourself to that, we don't even have to strip away the layers of self, you don't have the self-esteem and the confidence. You already in a box. Have you ever seen contortion? Have you ever seen people that do the David Blaine shit in the box? They make it look like they're comfortable, and that's what humans are doing. They're making it look like they're comfortable, but you're not comfortable in real life, because how can you be? Like, the world is big, and you living in a box. It just don't work like that.
Yeah, our potential is limitless. Yeah. I think if anyone's proven this, it's Elon Musk.
Exactly.
This man is completely shattered any sort of
in the pandemic. Yeah. When Jeff Bezos was doing what he was doing, breaking records, and then Elon sat back and said, yeah. And I know a couple of my partners, man. Shouts out to my guy Chad and a whole bunch of my people, man. They had a couple meetings with Elon a long time ago and told me a little like, he's going to do it. But we already seen it. It's just, and that's another perk of my mom coming to Beverly Hills. I met Chad. That's a childhood friend for almost 25 years. And I met him, and we went to Beverly High. So, those relationships get built based on the position that you put in. 9/10 of the law is possession. 9/10 of the game is position, so.
That's quotable right there.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what I'm here for, man.
What type of differences in the culture between Beverly Hills and Vegas do you see as glaring differences?
Beverly Hills doesn't have a nightlife per se. That's not what Beverly Hills. I mean, they don't have a McDonald's, so they don't have a nightlife. They don't have a McDonald's. Beverly Hills is literally it's big business. It's it's cookies and bubbles. It's fairies and butterflies. It's all of that. You know what I mean? I'm not going front or sell nothing. I lived in the heart of that right there. So that's what it is. That's what it's always about. It's about big business, staying focused. Vegas is you know, from what I saw, I'm not born and raised. I've only been here about 5 years. I came in and I saw the tourist aspect of it. And what I like is that in LA and Beverly Hills, people, you start seeing their personality. So it's like, it makes them unapproachable almost. Vegas, people are so much more receptive, man. You know, that's why I brought my talents out here like LeBron. Got a couple rings out here, you know, got a show popping last year. LA didn't give me a show. I didn't get, you know, LA, you know, they didn't give me a show. Not saying that they wouldn't, but it's all about the timing. Came out here. It's almost like your girl or you don't get that love until somebody else. Hold on, you popping over there. Now you go back to LA, you get the proper respect. So those would be the differences that I see.
There's so much opportunity out here in the city,
Most
and
definitely.
we're slowly going to bridge different industries off of the Strip. It's not going to be tourist dependent forever.
Right.
And things like, I think the big wake up call was when the Raiders came here. They're like, wow, if we get an NFL team, then the world will see us like as an official community.
Oh, man,
you have to have a community that surrounds these sports teams. And we've seen success with the Golden Knights, and we're going to get them.
Early. Y'all got that early. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It was huge for the expansion team. And now I finally understand what a sports team can mean to a community. It's a sense of banding together. Right. And
like the whole Vegas strong when when the situation. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do see more of that solidarity in Vegas, just even in the last 5 years. It did seem a little bit more loose from when I first got here because it just party. There was no, it's like now the quarantine makes you get serious. You got to really buckle down. What do you do? Because people get lost in Vegas, man. You know, because they fall to the devils, you know. They spending money on that. They spending money on that, or they spending money on that. And I don't know what type of situation we are, if I can say all of that to noses, but you know, you guys do the due diligence.
Exactly. I actually have a term for it. I call it the vicious Vegas cycle. Right. And I've been caught up in it. A lot of people have, where once you get a job on the Strip, you start making an intense amount of money. You know, you could be making doctor money at the age of 21, 22, and you go wild and you go out and spend it. And then
sounds like you're giving us your biopic. The biopic coming soon.
And basically what happens is you go out and you spend all this money and you meet people at these nightclubs and these tables, and you do drugs or spend money or whatever it is. And then you wake up, you hate yourself, and then you get invited back out again the same night.
It's the same cycle.
And basically all you're doing is you're building social equity with these people who are not investing in you, but you're investing with them. And then a few years later, you wake up and you realize that you've done nothing but spend money, and you have some pictures on Instagram. But
and then think about those women that you had great times with. Where are they now? What can they do for you, even if they are here now? It's just you just gotta, like you said, put it in perspective. That's all you do. You're just having a moment of clarity.
Moment of clarity, man.
A post hangover moment of clarity. That's all. It happens.
Yeah, it's been a big wake up call for the city. I've seen a bunch of my friends that I used to work with or I've known throughout my life through the different social circles. Some of them have branded and went off and done their own thing, and I admire when people do that, especially in the face of adversity. Like you said, when you're out there, you know, creating content for 15 years when people thought it was lame. Right,
for sure.
But you set yourself up perfectly for this exact moment. You couldn't predict this moment to happen, but you knew something like this was going to happen.
Exactly. Everybody wants to believe in something. Everybody needs to stop believing and start planning. Plan to believe to plan. That's where you got to go. Because if I have a plan and I believe in myself, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's always going to pan out. I'm talking about ultimate belief. That's another thing, viewers. I'm not talking about half-ass belief. I'm talking about you believe in this more than human existence. I'm talking about, can't nobody take you off this? You good. But if you have any inkling less, just work on it, because that's what's going to keep you from your goal, your ultimate goal.
Strongest conviction. I always tweet this out. If you have the opportunity to double down on yourself,
double down, man.
Do it.
Wasn't we talking about the roulette earlier?
Yeah.
I'm gonna chop it up with you. You feel me? It's money for real. Because double down. If you bet, and that's what I tell my artists. I mean, they got the chains, they got the this, they got the that, but it's like when it comes, how much you willing to invest in these services that's gonna better your. Oh, okay, you don't got it, but those Yeezys cost $750. That chain costs like $50,000, $10,000. It's up to you. Do it all how you want to do it, but don't come to me and wonder why you're not getting those results, because you got to make that investment first. Everybody wants to be Drake, but they forget before Toronto gave him a free $1 billion plane, he invested $250,000 into his career after he was doing a Degrassi situation. It's not just I rap good. Everybody's like, you rap good, cool. Where's your money? I'm in the industry. To blow these rappers up, it takes money. It's not Biggie and Puffy and you can rap and you're broke and because your rap skills are going to get you a check. that era is dead, and they got to know it. And I'll tell them every day, because you know, if you can't take it from me, you ain't gonna want to hear it from Iveen. You ain't gonna want to hear it from Steve Burns. You ain't gonna want to hear it from the top Interscope dudes. They're gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. And they not in Vegas, they in LA. So, you know what I mean? They might be putting too much alcohol in there. You feel me? Out here, they know how to make the drink just right. So you know how it go.
I love that. There's a lot of groundwork that goes into building a brand or building your skills that no one really talks about. Because once you make it to the top, people don't really want to reflect on it too much. You know, sometimes it's like very dark days from a lot of the beginnings, and they don't. It's almost like a PTSD type feel where you don't want to go into it. And so a lot of
it's
people.
Book of Eli, man. You feel me? It's you on that journey. I tell people all the time, like, because I drive back and forth to LA and Vegas, you know, at night. That's life. You just driving, and everybody talk about love, how much they love, and this and the third. Sorry, people, love don't matter. How much respect don't matter. When you're on your journey and you driving and it's late at night, you don't give a fuck about respect, love, none of that stuff. You want to get to your destination. All you have is your plan. That's all you have. All you have is your sight and your plan and your vision. And then you may get there, you may not. And the minute you get there, that's when your plan has become present. You did it. But that's all life is. People, we all get caught. Me too. I ain't, you know, I'm just, these things I learned is we all get caught up in the whole love, respect. And while we driving in our lane, too busy looking at this person and too busy looking at that person, just can drive and worry about where, because that's what, you know, if God put us here, we his vessel. He put us in the lane. And there's no traffic in your lane from when I'm watching you, Jake. You feel me? You're doing a good job of how you present yourself. You know, the people, your content, everything, it looks solid because that's how you're moving. You're moving as a vessel. It's not about you. But when things aren't about you, they become about you. That's why congratulations on Vegas was Entrepreneurs Las Vegas.
Yes,
because
appreciate it.
At the end of the day, you're doing you in your own lane. And then they see, and then people want to merge into your lane. That's how it should be. It should be about that. It shouldn't be about and looking around, and that's what people lose sight of the ultimate goals, what I've noticed.
Exactly. Life comes down to being a one-player game.
That's life.
Purpose is how you view your journey, but success is how others view your journey.
That's purpose and worth. I have that conversation every day. Worth, you feel me? That worth is different from your like literally what your value is. That's different. See, your value and your worth, your value is different. Your value is how you see, your worth how they see.
Yep, exactly. It's so perfect.
They see you as priceless and a diamond and a billion, but based on your statistics, it's like when I was a kid, you know, I always wanted to be going to the NBA, and you see players get contracts, and that contract might stipulate 10 point something, and we just see those numbers. We don't know how they're allocated. They get allocated because 10 points, seven rebounds, and this many assists. The NBA has their own algorithm that they throw those numbers into, and that conjures up how much money you're going to get paid. That's how these contracts are structured in business. That's how these contracts are structured in the music industry. But you had to learn that. You know what I mean? Those are the gems that they're not going to tell you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like you Wizard of Oz the whole time down the Yellow Brick Road, and you figure out, oh, this little dude was behind the thing doing what? It don't really be what you seen, but you want to be a part of the unseen hand. You want to be behind the screen, behind the scenes. You know, and that's what I noticed. I was a player. I was Jordan, but it's cool to be Phil. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be Phil. It's cool to go for 40 and stuff like that, but when you know, like you're doing, you're putting on a lot of people. So it's like, it's a different situation. Like I'm trying to be the Keenan Ivory Wayans and the Quincy Jones and put everybody else on, but we know about Quincy. So if you put everybody else on, we're going to know about Jake without having to Jake. Somebody else is going to speak on you. It's always better when others speak on your behalf. You know what I mean?
So true. I've always told a lot of my friends that whenever I approach a room, and it seems like in your life too, you've been a part of a lot of social circles and groups that are that are larger than you, organizations.
For sure. I want everybody around me to be larger than me. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. The best way to approach these groups isn't to go be the vibrant character loudmouth. It's to build individual relationships within the circle so that if you have a great relationship with 5 of the 7 people in this group, when they're on their own time talking about you, it's nothing but good. So it reinforces your image without you having to be narcissistic about it and egotistical.
Exactly. Because in business, we all know that type of stuff can kill the deal. Anything can kill the deal when you start dealing, you know, and that's how I look at everything. You know what I mean? I look at everything like Bruce Almighty, for instance. Everything, when he said Post-its and everything's paper around the room, it's matrix the minute I became an executive, because this bottle took paperwork, this took paperwork, this, that cup, this, your shirt, this. Once you see everything took paperwork and everything is not about all this other stuff. It's about time, because time is the number one commodity, not love, respect, and all this stuff that we covet so much. Then you get to the next point. But I'm giving y'all them gems, and I ain't charging nobody nothing. But if any artist needs some, holla at me, all that stuff. Holla at Jake, he's the man. But I'm just giving it to y'all straight, no chaser. That's really how it works. It's really about time management. When you become to this level where you have hundreds of thousands, if not billions of dollars, it's about stress management. And there ain't no college for that. Where's the college for the stress management? Just like how people talk about mental health issues and anxiety issues, stress management. That's what my mentor told me. Saying like he's done it all from any parts of the game and got millions and millions of dollars. He's like, but when you get that, heavy is the crown, because how do you manage the stress? It's More Money, More Problems is a song with Biggie and Puffy, and that's cool, and I get it. It's just like saying when people say time is money and they're lying. It's More Money, More Problems is different, but more money and you really have to get that stress management. That's a whole nother ball game, Jake.
So true.
You know what I'm talking about.
So true. Money is just an accentuator. If you're an internally a happy person and you have a lot of money, you will be a happy person. But if you're maniacal or vindictive or egotistical and have money, that's just going to be exacerbated through your money.
Exactly.
And I love that you talk about time as a commodity. There's a famous quote that one of my favorite podcasters, named Anthony Pompliano.
You got to put me on him, man. I got to check. I feel like you got the master plan. If you say they rocking, I'm rocking.
He's good. He talked about this quote about time and seconds, where he said Warren Buffett, he's a billionaire in cash value, but he's a millionaire in seconds.
Yes.
But people who are in their 20s are generally a billionaire in seconds, but a millionaire or less in dollars. And they're like, put yourself in Warren Buffett's shoes. You would pay for more seconds if you could.
You hit it on the nose, and this is the difference that people got to understand. You said put yourself in Warren Buffett's shoes. Warren Buffett eats McDonald's and drives a regular car. 98% of the population is already in Warren Buffett's shoes and don't even realize it, Jake.
So true.
That's the sad part about it. He knows what's going on. You see, I know. See, my guy, we locked in. See, it's real. It's real. You feel the goose. It's real. Like, it's real in the field. Like, at the end of the day, people have to understand they get in their own way. Stop getting in your own way. Stop saying you're not a millionaire. We're all millionaires and billionaires. That money don't matter. It's not backed by any gold no more. Stop with the BS. Everybody that's talking about they got all their money, we saw blow. If your money gets appropriated by the government or the American, you're done, people. There ain't no nothing. We saw how they took away everything and we got to walk out without a mask. And y'all trust the banks? Okay. Y'all, and there's nothing wrong with stocks and all these things, but let's just be real. Born alone, die alone. You were only child. That's all we know. So I'm going to only speak from my experiences. You can't trust nothing, man. And you're going to leave here what you came with. Not a damn thing, but with the breath in your lungs.
Yep. These politicians aren't here to save you.
Nah,
they're there to line their pockets and fit whatever agenda their group wants to do.
Exactly.
The left is becoming more authoritarian. The right is less empathetic, and that's where that clash is.
We saw what happened. We can talk about Trump all day. Let's just talk about that last thing that happened that's all we got to talk about. Like, if my son just got born and was one and he just saw that, it don't even matter what Trump, it don't even matter all the BS that Trump just did. That picture, that's it. I don't even want to see videos, all the crazy. That picture, that's enough for me. We are in the last days, people.
Yeah, I was literally just talking about this with one of my friends that I do believe America has hit its peak and the power is degrading. Bitcoin and crypto is also disintegrating that leverage that they have of the US dollar. And I think the pandemic has opened everyone's eyes up to it, where Jerome Powell, who's in charge of the Fed, said that they have unlimited firepower. And then they asked him how they print money, and he said he just moves a comma on a spreadsheet. Everyone was like, what the
exact fuck? Come on. It's real like that, though. But he's giving it to you straight, just like how I'm going to tell all your artists, if you don't got no money, don't get in this fucking business. I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to lie and say you got all the talent that's going to happen, because talent, tell me when the last time talent and success is synonymous. Tell me when the last time talent, success, and wealthy is synonymous. These are all dichotomies. You can't bank on that. You feel me? There's nothing to bank on, people. We're just banking on ourselves. That's the only thing. If you believe in you and say, gee, I'm going to have this, that, and the third next year, I'm going to believe it because I see it in your eyes. If I say I'm about to have it, you know I'm dead serious, because I'm going to only speak on something that I have a reference to, because experience is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying?
It really is. And once you get past the concept of failure, and that failure isn't actually failure.
It doesn't exist.
It's a learning.
We learn until we hit the
experience.
grave.
Yep. You have to be a silver linings person. You have to stack all these different skills through all these different experiences and things that you've done in life, and then you find yourself in a position that no one else can replicate. You build something substantial that everyone gravitates to.
That's why Warren Buffett won, man. And like I'm a product of that. My mom, like she was an executive secretary for Williams and Jensen. No, not Williams and Jensen. I'm so sorry. That was in 21st and Kane, DC. From General Star. You know, his company owned that. Was it Berkshire Farms?
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway.
I'm sorry. Farms. I'm sorry. I'm doing business with agriculture people too.
He is from Nebraska.
Yes,
so.
I'm sorry. I'm doing a whole bunch of other things. Shouts out to everybody. But you know what I mean? Like I get it. I totally get it because you know he got his own lane. And she was specializing in insurance and all that type of stuff, and he dealing with real estate. But when you got your own lane, you can get it all. It's like a DJ Khaled verse. We got everybody. Who else want to come on? You know what I mean? That's how you want to go about it.
And when you're in your own lane, you're actually building that lane as
exactly.
well. And
the architect.
And when you're building, you're out in a grassy field, and there's just sun out there.
That's real.
When you're driving in someone else's lane, there's multiple cars.
Right.
There's a dead end. There's a fork. Because if you're in someone else's lane, it's going to stop at that person.
That person, man. That's real, man. That's real. That's facts. And that's what you want to do. If you want to, and like I said, not everybody's a leader, you know, that's fine. But everybody's still in charge of their own life. You know, people can't lose the fact of, you know, just like somebody might say, I'm not a starting five player. I come off the bench. I let the team do them, and then I'm a role player. But when you go home by yourself, you was the leader of your life. So, you know, and I understand people, you know, trying to help, you know, and that's cool being selfless. I'm selfless, but you know, see, selfish is another word that people put a negative connotation on. That's survival. How can you care about anybody else if you don't take care of yourself? So
you have to have a balance of selfish and selflessness. Exactly, you know, like this podcast is selfish and selfless.
Yes.
I'm selfless because I'm creating a tool.
Yes.
I'm giving other people a platform, and I'm letting other people in on the knowledge.
Yes.
It's selfish because now I'm networking with people, building my own network.
Yes, and it's called the Jay Gallen Show. It's not called the, hey, I'm letting all y'all come chill on my shit. It's my show, and we all gonna work on this together.
Exactly.
You know, people gotta understand that's what life is about. You know, and I like that. I understand, and like Clubhouse, for instance, the culture of that. And,
it's awesome.
And we're watching it build. It's already, you know, worth $1 billion and stuff, and already and things of that nature. And it just came out. It took years for people to get to Instagram, like I was saying earlier. It was just an app on the phone for like 6 years. I started playing with it and doing video stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then, you know, 3-4 years after that, it turned to videos. These youngsters don't even remember. We couldn't even do videos on that, Jake, but they don't know that. You tell them that, they gonna think we dinosaurs, right? Those is the facts. Yeah. But, you know, I remember this because that's my life. Content and always being ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, and just focusing on all that. That's what motivates me. Like
the adoption curve is accelerating. It took Instagram, I believe it was 7 or 8 years to get to 1 billion users. TikTok started in 2016. It took them 3 years to get to 1 billion.
And that's what's getting scary, man.
Clubhouse started in 2019. It didn't even go public until December of 2020. So it's only been live to the public for about 3 months now. And I believe they're in the tens of millions.
Yeah, they're in there. And these .com millionaires, they're young. They're in their 20s now. I'm handling business with them. They're younger than me. You know what I mean? And you know, we're on, you know, board of advisors and all of these good things, but they young. You know, my son's 12, he getting straight A's. That means he can do it. Like, for real. It's real, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm imparting on my son. I'm letting him know that his intelligence, and he's great at basketball and all these things, but student athlete, you know, that's what I was. You know, I had straight A's in the 7th grade as well. So it's lead by example. And then he sees his dad out here getting it. I didn't get to see that. You know what I'm saying? That's different, being a driving force. So it's a whole nother ballgame.
It is a beautiful way that society is progressing, because the amount of what technology has done is it gives you the Library of Alexandria in the palm of your hands. You could research anything on your own. You don't have to pay $50,000 to go be successful. Right. And you could start this at a younger and younger age as society progresses. The gates that were around becoming a millionaire are lowered. They've been taken out. You can do it. You can be a 3-year-old reviewing toys on YouTube, making $26 million in a year. Yep. There's so much opportunity out there now, and that's why I'm so encouraged by the younger generations, Generation Z. They understand this. And at first, as I said, I thought content was a cop-out. And
Can you tell me why you thought that?
I saw it. To me, it seemed more of like a smoke and pony show. To me.
Okay, I get it.
It seemed like, oh, you're gonna opt out of society.
I was just about to say the C-list, D-listers.
Yeah,
Because I didn't know what you meant, but I'm with you 100%.
I was like, you're gonna opt out of society and build where you could build something tangible and provide utility to the world, like an app or something like that. And you're gonna go on and you're going to go be strictly entertainment and be these Jeffree Stars or whatever type people.
Gotcha.
Once I started it, and also to the caveat with that is that
another one of my mom's words. Oh
caveat. One of the caveats that made me upset about it was there was a report that I read. It was probably 2 years ago where they were interviewing a lot of Generation Zs and asking them what they wanted to aspire to be, and all of them said YouTube stars or some sort of influencer.
That's real.
But as I've learned now, 2 years later from this, the reason why they do this is because first they see the utility in providing information, but also it's one of their only ways out right now because of the gates that the boomers have set up to all of these different institutions and the different economic crises that happen. And they realize
you know some stuff, man.
And they realize that they can all collab together. That's what you do, right? You see all these YouTube channels where these famous YouTubers are all getting on together, and Clubhouse is now expanding that as well.
Look, now it's TikTokers. Somebody can run up to somebody in the mall. Oh my God, that's my favorite TikToker. So, I mean, come on, how dope is that? I mean, at least it makes somebody not saying I want to go be a basketball player or this and the third. You can be somebody just like that. You feel like you can touch. They're tangible. It's not so far away. Just like how Instagram. Why you got to make it so this person got 5,000 followers and you got and 100 million people got 100 million. There ain't even that many people on the planet, but they want us to believe that. Come on, even the rich people, 80% of their followers is fake. All that stuff fake.
I was literally just talking about this. I had his name's Marcus Miller. He's a social media guru at it,
and he was keeping it 100.
He was keeping it 100%. Yeah, he was telling us that they get fake bots and fake followers and
streaming farms.
And the idea behind it is that fake followers lead to real followers, and I can understand that but it's just the way that we're programmed. It's the psychology behind it. It's unfortunate to see.
It's a numbers game. No one's going to dive into it.
Right? It's just like when you're on Instagram and you see something with 100 likes and for some reason you just want to like it. Exactly. You just want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of it.
Exactly. And then we already know behind that, just like the social problem, the social dilemma. I mean, at the end of the day, you get the serotonin every time somebody likes you, you feel good. Every time you like somebody, you feel good. It's scientific. It's deeper than what we've all been programmed. I mean, this is the Matrix 20 years ago, like, you know what I mean? So you're right, 1,000%.
It's a straight up beautiful thing. And with these social media influencers, I've noticed that a lot of them end up, and it's something that I didn't think about when I was kind of downplaying being a content creator.
Gotcha.
You build a brand and you have a community, and then they offer a product later. Right. In the past, it was before the internet era. It was you build a business and then your personal brand comes second. But now it's flipped where your personal image comes first and then the business comes after.
And I think that's what I'm so glad you said that. That's what I tell all of my artists, because artists do the same thing. Go and get in front of people, get people to love you for you. So if you want to sell them dog shit or a diamond, they will, whether the music is good or bad. And if you happen to have good music, you're ahead of the curve. If you want to sell them merchandise and it's bullshit, okay, then they'll still get it because they like you. And if it's actually good, then you will win, like you said, exponentially. Correct. And that's what I tell people. Get in front of people. Go talk. Go before spending $5,000 on the video and $5,000 on the mix and mastering in the song, and then $10,000 for the feature, and go put it on an Instagram that got 5,000 followers. And then okay, let's say you get 20,000 views. You just paid all of that for 20,000 views, as opposed to taking that $20,000 or $10,000 and going the way that you just said. Put it on yourself. Invest in touring. Invest in social media growth. Invest in getting a Google panel page so we know who the fuck you are. Because it doesn't matter if you have good music anymore. The first thing we need to know is, who are you?
Yeah.
You know, so like when people watch this, I want them to know, hey man, if they didn't remember nothing, hey, that's that G6 guy. Who are you? Just know that's who I am. I ain't never gonna forget you, Jake. And that's what it's about. It's about being unforgettable, because we're entrepreneurs. We don't have time for you to forget about me. I don't have time. I don't have the luxury of time to be getting forgot about if you're out and thinking and you're like, who can do this? And you remember I might have said something if I'm out somewhere and you might have said. We don't have that type of time because we're moving like that. You know, so that's what I tell all my artists. So I'm glad you're at that point for sure.
Right. When you look back and you reflect on all of the different people that you've met and the moments, you don't remember the exact conversations, but you remember how they made you feel. And that's what's most important.
Gems. That's what it's about. The aura. That's what it's about, man.
It is.
That's what it's not on us. It's in us, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
You have to represent yourself. Just be authentic. Sometimes we get too caught up with the glimmer and the glam that surrounds it.
And we get caught up in the status quo just because they're doing it. You know, like we just happen to wear black accidentally. We ain't planning this, but you know what I mean. Everybody, you got your black shirt on. You got your black shirt. That's the game now. You know what I'm saying? If it happens organically, then hey, we look flying. We ain't even planning it, so that means we already vibing. But besides that, you know what I mean? Don't force it. You know, it's just why everybody chasing money. Don't chase nothing. You chase anything, it's gonna run. A car chase, it's going. Just don't chase nothing. Let the game come to you. You know what I'm saying? Do your homework, plan like you said, stay on it, believe in yourself, and keep moving. It's simple.
Yeah. And understand that the beginning is gonna suck. You're gonna be bad at whatever you do.
I'm sorry. The last thing I said is simple. That was a lie. It ain't simple. It's simple. It's simple to me now. I've been doing it for a while.
Now that I've done almost 90 something podcasts, it seems simple, but in the beginning it sucked. And if you go back to episode 0, I say, look, I'm being vulnerable to you guys. I know that this is going to be bad in the beginning, but I have a vision, and if you follow me, you get to grow with me as well. And that's what it should. That's what you have to understand.
Brother, you hitting so many points. That's just like I remember 4 years ago watching Drink Champs, and they was in a room smaller than this, not even looking as dope as this with the red and the dope. Like, this is fire. Not even looking like that. Just a whole bunch of bottles, and you know, this is Noriega. They just some hood dudes. They ain't true. Now look at them. You know what I'm saying? And your viewers who remember that and are not. And for me, I'm honest. I'll be vulnerable to. I wasn't in the same financial position I was in 4 years ago than I am now. My mother wasn't retired, was she? So this is the game. This is the real right there. Your audience grows with you. Not only did their platform grow, what about those that grew with the platform?
And you always stay attached to it.
And you stay attached. Now I'm on it. I'm looking like, man, I've been telling y'all about drinks, and then you get to watch the people that come on later, and then they understand later, and that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember when Nori wouldn't even interview young artists until Irv Gotti went up there and said, man, get the young people up here, man. You got to do it because it's you, Nori. And like, that's what I would say to you. But I don't got to tell you that. I looked at your catalog. If you're who you are, come on. That's who you are, you know what I'm saying? And Nori was, and I understood his point. He was trying to be on. Shouts out to Nori, you know what I'm saying? That's, I've definitely, seen Nori out and turned up and stuff like that. But like, that's his, he was trying to give it back. He's trying to give it back to the OGs and stuff like that. But now Nori, that was how you came into this, and that was your vision in the beginning. When it's just a couple of hood dudes around and some bottles and that, it's different. You've outgrown your vision, brother. So now you got to expand your own mindset. You know what I mean? Like how Scarface was trying to tell him, man, hey, man, come on, man. Something go wrong, I'll make a couple meals. Move here, meal here. Whatever we got to do. Don't worry about that because I'm not just under you hanging around you no more, Frank. I know what's up now. You feel me? So it's different. You know what I mean? So like, that's real.
We get caught up in the complexities of this contingency plan that we want to do in life. I always say that it's harder to get the plane off the ground than it is to actually fly it.
You are right.
It's right that with life trajectory. I tell people, have a plan for the first 3 to 6 months of the launch.
Yep.
And have a long-term vision of where you want to be, and then just pivot and ride through the wind on the way. That's how it has to be.
It's gonna be nothing but turbulence the whole time.
Exactly.
It's unavoidable, people. If we approach everything like it's unavoidable, you feel me? It's unavoidable. You know what I'm saying? You cool, we gonna laugh. It's unavoidable. You can't avoid it. We gonna laugh, we gonna joke, we have a good time. People, this is life. F business, anything that you think. This is life. It's gonna be a rocky road. Even if you a billionaire, even if you are this, that, and the third, it's gonna be rocky. Just try to live the most. Like you said, seeing it half full. You ain't gotta look at the half empty. That's already there. It's already everything stacked against you anyway. You already odds here, odds there, this, that, and the third. So try your best to just, I focusing on God. Whatever's going to keep you focused, you got to focus on your girl, your kid, God, yourself. But whatever that is, just let that push you, let that guide you, because it's going to be rocky road all day anyway. You know what I mean? So you can't control that.
Yeah, I can tell you that the path is not smoothed out at all.
At all. And the more success that I thought was success, number one, when I get it, is no longer success. And number two, the trials that come with that success. It's not more money, more problems. It's like you said, it's a branch. If I meet 5 people, who knows how many people are talking about me? Exactly. There's no way that we will ever know how many people are now talking about us because we went and met 5 people. We don't know if it's 100 people. We don't know if it's all 4 of them people could have gotten a horrible crash and only one person knows my name. We don't know. We'll never know about stuff. So just knowing that you don't know makes you free. You know, you should be free on that.
Yep. Once you post those few pieces of content, when you first start out, you feel like this sigh of breath. You're just like,
right.
It's there.
Right.
And then once you start doing it and become familiar with it, whether you're on Instagram or you're on Twitter, putting out some thoughts that you thought are very personal.
Exactly.
You feel that everyone is still here. One of my biggest fears when I decided to pivot into the podcast, I was like, are my followers going to like this? Are they going to continue rocking with me with this new brand on here?
Right.
But then I posted a few episodes and I was like, do I even care if those people unfollow me? Why do I care? Like it's this fictitious wall.
Let me tell you what my artist told me. It was so funny. He told me, he said, yeah, man, I started rapping and everybody started liking me. And I garnered a dope demographic. And now I don't even like the demographic that likes me. I never heard, like, right or wrong or indifferent. That was a dope little approach that I'd never heard that before. It's kind of like what you're saying. And it's like, at the end of the day, you don't care because whoever's going to like you is who's going to like you. Any woman that comes and deals with you, do you give a rat's ass if you going to hang with me? We're going to do the things that I like to do and it's going to be cool. If you don't like that, then it's it. Like, it's not like I can't come in like, I hope she this, I hope she that, I hope they this, I hope they that. I'm being me. They're going to like it. And that's the difference in those that are on that level and those that are not.
Overthinking plagues us.
Oh man, it shoots you right in the foot. It shoots you right every time too. And we've all done it. We all victims of that. Overthinking, over this, over that. But it's hard because we're programmed. You know, we're so programmed. You know, the first thing we're gonna do when we're done is get on our phone. Like, you know, and we know that. You know, it's nothing. It's just we're programmed. So it's not our fault. You know what I mean? I'm just a messenger saying the same thing that a million other people probably saying as well. Just putting my own twist on it, which is definitely the most unique ever in human existence. But that's what we're here to do.
That's why I enjoy talking with entrepreneurs. That exact line of thinking.
Facts.
Entrepreneurs, we have this similar goal for everyone. We want to provide value. We want to create value. We want to make people feel good. It's not necessarily about the money, but the paths and the journeys are so different. That's what I find so fascinating about every single person who I sit across from.
Right. They're so, but they're so intertwined. Our success, I don't even know your full success of your end goal, but it's usually in alignment because we're already connected. The creative account, this is why we're here. So it's usually intertwined, and that's what I always tell my artists and, you know, keep people that are around you that you guys have like-minded goals. You know, stay in position. Most people, it's like a shovel. You're digging. You'll put that shovel away, okay? We all know that meme, cool. Somebody else came and took your goal. But people literally won't even take the shovel with them. People will literally leave the shovel right next to the person. Like, you're not just going to walk away. You're going to leave your whole plan and your whole hard work and your whole, because what do your friends do? The people that are with you that watch you quote pseudo fail, they listening to your whole plans. They might be listening and know the one fuck up you made and know how to switch your whole game around. They might Napster you. It's a whole, that stuff happens all the time. So just believe in you, believe in God, believe in your family, believe in the people that believe in you. Keep that support system around you because that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying?
And support comes in so many different forms. This is something that I've gradually learned over time. When I first started the podcast, there was a huge amount of downloads, and then there was a big tail off. And then it took me about 4 months to get to that first few episodes.
Why do you think that first one happened?
Everyone was very excited to see something new. And then the interest dropped off. And then 2-3 months later, they saw I was still here.
40 days of rain, brother.
And they were like, oh shit, yeah. he's still continuing with this.
40 days of rain, man. You drowned him. Yeah. You drowned him, right? 40 days of rain. You give people 40 days of rain. You're going to need those 40 days of sunshine. You got to balance. Like you said, once the balance is there, then people garner. I think the same thing. I'm like, I'll post something and everybody hype. But then once people see that you consistent, then what if they see you consistent as hell? Then what if they see you come more consistent than them? Yeah, everything gonna taper off, man. Mm-hmm. It's all gonna taper off, brother. But don't you know your path? Your path is your catalog. Yeah. You know you're battling yourself. It's me against myself. It's the mirror game. That's why I tell everybody mirror theory. When people try to talk, I just Show them who they are. Like that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to battle you and fight you and go against you. This is who you are. Like you said, money's gonna make you either more of who you already are or less of who you already are. That's it. Like you get all the money, what you gonna do? Are you gonna take care of your family? Or are you gonna be out here splurging, getting chains? You can do both. Just don't go broke.
Mirror theory. I haven't heard that before. That terminology before. I like that.
Yeah, mirror theory. And I was actually gonna call that one of my little projects too, man, because I always see that, and I always like the chrome mirror paint on like a Benz that I saw years and years ago at the Beverly Hills Benz dealership. Shouts out to them, because it's like Knight Rider when you're driving. It's reflective, so it's seeing whatever, you know what I'm saying. And obviously I'm an artist, so everything with me a metaphor. I always thought that was dope. So, and it's like mirror theory. Everybody and then everybody mirrors themselves, and then there's so many things that come with it. You know, things appear larger on a mirror. If you put a mirror against a mirror, you can see a billion. It's ever ending. So you know that's the matter of vein that I like to move from.
Success is a little bit of a mirror theory if you think about it too. When somebody sees success, some people lash out and they see that this is everything that they wanted. And so then that's when you get a lot of trolls in the comments from it. And I haven't had that many trolls. I've had some recently. And to me, it just shows.
Did you get recently after you became number 6?
Yeah, there's a few recently. There's one guy on Twitter that like spams every single one now, but I just actually pin all his comments.
That happens. That's because that's what it's about, man. Hey, controversy sells, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It's fun. It's cool to see, and I'm like, hey, that's a form of support too. You know, if you want to troll me, like I'm living rent free in your mind. So
and that's the mental real estate. And like Floyd always said, hey, whether you betting on me to win or you betting on me to lose, you're betting on me.
And there, like and like I was saying before, there's so many different forms of support. Sometimes we get so trenched in the analytics and the statistics and the amount of likes and views and stuff like that.
Right.
But I've come to realize that even if there's an episode that didn't reach the amount of downloads that I wanted, then maybe there will be some weeks where the downloads are down, but my social media followers are increasing. Exactly. And I'm like, that's more important, right? You're reaching people. You're just facilitating conversation. Some of my friends, I post like little marketing clips and they're like, that's the way that I support you. I don't have time to listen to an hour and a half conversation, but I am still following you along your journey. And I'm like, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? Exactly. You're trying to provide value. Exactly. You're trying to reach out to as many people as possible, share the message, and hopefully inspire people.
Sure, man. No, I mean, you hitting it right on the head, man. You're hitting the nail on the head for sure. Because at the end of the day, also from support, everybody expects genuine support because we're all creators and we're all, like Erykah Badu said, really sensitive about our shit. So, you know, you might notice the people that are closest to you may not support you the way that you deem it or you feel, but you know, like you said, take the focus off that. Know that they got you on your journey at some point, regardless. And even if they really about that, I mean, I have to deal with that too because I noticed the people that I've provided the most for or hold down the most, they might not watch this interview. They might not have watched my last interview. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't take away, you know, how they do support me in my life. You know, they support me in real human life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't always view it like that. Just like you said, take the support and the way it's given and just realize that it's all genuine because people really don't got to do shit for you anyway.
Exactly. There's almost two simultaneous worlds we're living in. We're living in the digital world and also the reality of the world.
Right.
And obviously the digital world is going to have an exponential increase in the amount of numbers.
Right.
But what it doesn't have is the genuinity and the compassion that real life support can give you, your closest friends. Like there's no way in hell that, you know, 300 likes is the same as getting support from your parents or the love from your significant other or sitting around the table shooting the shit with your high school friends. And
I'm having more fun shooting the shit with you. I'm being real. Like, I'm having more fun shooting the shit with you than like, you know, if this gets a million, like, all right, not a million, because if it get a million, we gonna get some money. But you know, if it get like, you know, 20,000 views and stuff like that, like, I'm gonna say we did that because you genuine. You know, we did that. You know what I'm saying? We genuine. So like, that's what it's about. Like, I feel you, man, because that's what it's about. It's about the aura. It's about how things make you feel. Now, everybody's different. If those likes, now some people might be wired that those likes make them feel more, I don't know, they might feel more of a win than shooting the shit. Then hey, brother, you won. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to judge what's gonna make, you know, what you eat ain't gonna make me shit. You feel me? Do what makes you happy, you know?
Yeah, at the end of the day, do what makes you happy, no matter what it is, whether it's making you money or it's fulfilling some sort of void that had always been missing. And I'll always experiment to different things.
For sure, man.
The common advice I always give to a lot of my friends is, if you don't know what to do, go read a book. That's what I did when I graduated college and felt lost. There's so much material and it's so intimate. It's just like the conversation that we're having. Books are the most, I would say it's the content that has standed the length of time the longest. Books have been around for millennia.
You saw You?
I saw me, yeah.
The Netflix thing, You?
Oh, yeah.
When he talks about books, it's like what you're saying. They withstand the test of time. Now we know the whole story was crazy, but that contraption with those books in it, to me, that was like the dopest shit.
Because he has them locked in there, but he gives them books.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy to me. So I'm, like I said, I'm very visual. When you say that, I see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. And if you want to keep something away from a person that's not intelligent, put your money in the book, because people are not going to go there. People have access to the most information that they've ever had in human life, and they won't even go research something unless somebody wants to like call somebody on something. You know what I'm saying? Then everybody want to fact check and bring receipts, but nobody's going to fact check a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, by the time things happen, people don't care. It's too late. You know what I'm saying? Somebody already, rock with somebody. Don't nobody care that Rick Ross might have been a correctional officer 30 years ago. It's too late. Even he already gave everybody platinum hits. You got to call him on that a long time ago before he becomes that guy. It doesn't really work that way. You know what I'm saying? So you know how that goes.
Yeah, it's the common term that I use all the time: gradually, then suddenly.
Right.
You got this gradual increase, no matter if it's a financial instrument, your social influence, your net worth. It seems like it's just so slow, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, holy shit.
Exactly.
I made the amount of money I always wanted, or I reached the level of success that I'm at.
Like you said, it probably didn't even hit you that you did 90 episodes or something, right? Because you just like you were recanting zero, one. So it's like, boom. It's just like when you're doing content, I look up and, I'm getting press releases done by This Is 50, and it's like G6, 15-year veteran. I didn't even see myself as that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I might be wealthy. To others, to myself, I'm broke compared to my dreams. If my dreams are being a billionaire and things of that nature, or just exponential money where money don't even matter and I'm working for no worries. That's what it's about. So it's all in how you view it. It's all in the perspective of it. I mean, obviously, we know we wealthy at the end of the day with our mindsets, but if we're talking about like financial freedom and actually having the money to provide the opportunities for our friends and families around us, that's what it's about.
Let's talk a little bit about your 15-year entertainment veteranship. Okay, so from West Angeles, I went to Amazing Grace Conservatory. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Steve Harvey show. Miss Wendy, Wendy Raquel Robinson. That's her acting school. Shouts out to Miss Wendy. Shouts out to Amazing Grace, and shouts out to Winifred Hervey, who she actually wrote that and created that show and created the Will Smith show. Well, all of that stuff too. So shouts out to them. I was there. I did a couple plays there. After that, I went to graduated high school. I did homeschool because I was traveling after that. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, she had a hysterectomy. So after I was playing ball and stuff like that, I couldn't really finish that out. And that really, that was my passion. So that kind of really bothered me. Came back, took care of my moms. After I took care of my moms, I went to Santa Monica College in LA. It was hard for me to just sit there after the basketball, the mom situation. And like when I was in DC, I was working on my music. I was working on music more, but I was working at 21st and K. So basically I was driving like Lawyers on the Hill. Like my auntie, she worked for a law firm. So I was like a gopher at a law firm. So I did that. And, at nighttime I would kind of work on my music. So that's like the beginning of it. Like where, I'm rapping and all of that type of stuff. I'm rapping and being cool and funny, but that's when I'm taking it serious. Cause after work, I got nothing to do. I'm in DC. I just got nothing to do. And it's kind of like I had this set up in a computer. So I'm just rapping, freestyling. And that's when it kind of became transparent to me because like I'm from, we call it's Maryland, but we call it Murderland. It's like the woods and stuff like that. So even if it's the suburban, shouts out to everybody on DC, 395 and all of that, Indian Head Highway. So it's like woodsy. So, imagine like you got to take a walk, just if I want to go smoke a blunt or so, I got to walk to a gas station for like 30 minutes or something. So while I'm walking in a gas station,
you know, the freestyles that I've made, I'm giving it to and they drive, I'm hearing it, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hearing them, my little rinky dink bullshit freestyles. I'm like, oh, this dope. So they like, nah, you know, so that's the confidence. They're building the confidence in that. And that's getting that confidence, just like in Vegas, outside of your home. It's different when they give you love outside of where your norm is. You know, where your norm is, they're going to love you regardless, kind of, sort of. It's like family. You know, I'm only child, so if I call you my brother, I really mean it because I don't have to call you my family. You know what I'm saying? Some people have to, you know, got brothers and sisters and stuff. So I was out there. I did that, as I digress, right? So I did that, came back to LA after I was working on that. And then I was like, I'm about to just go hard on the music. So I was working on the music. In 2008, I got my first distribution deal with Latin Cool. And I had my son in 2008. So it was really one, and I didn't really realize that till I did another interview, and I was just like recanting everything. I was like, man, like 2008 was one of those years, because it's like I had my son, and you know, that's a new experience. You know, I moved from Beverly Hills, and I planned on moving to Arizona, but that went left. So I ended up, I was in the hood, like I was off of like Fourth, you know, like Fourth and Martin Luther King, like Fourth and Crenshaw type of situation, and that's God humbling me, because you know, I got my son. I'm telling you know, me and my mom, we got a new duplex, so we're handling that business. But you know, this is new for me. I'm young. I got a kid, but just actually, like I said, being a part of that distribution situation, that's 2008. It's 2021. That lets you know how long I've, you know, been doing digital and Amazon and all that stuff. I knew about that before a lot of these people even thought it was cool. So that helped me with my confidence in my son, because it's like I'm raising my son, trying to figure out what I got to do, got to take care of the family. This made me still feel like I was in the game, because a lot of artists, you know, they might go through the same thing, but they're not a lot of those opportunities. So you might feel like, man, that's all I'm doing. And I felt like that, like, man, I ain't, you know, I'm just taking care of my family. I'm not really working on my dreams. And there's nothing wrong with that. And because actually I have to do that, because if my dreams don't work out the way that our lives are structured, they don't get taken care of anyway. So you got to really figure it out. That's the selfish and the balance of the selfless. So did that 2008, knocked that out. That was about a 2-year distribution situation. Shouts out to Latin Cool too, man. Again, they were based out in Miami. Like I said, that was a situation through one of my partners. He knew his dad did some business with them, got them a distribution deal, and he was like, yo, you got to get G6. You know what I'm saying? So that was love. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to them again. So after that, from there, 2000, I'd say 2000. Well, we could just fast forward, because from there I went to the Marina. That's like when I moved to Marina Del Rey after I left there. That's when it was like, okay, I started picking up. So that's 2012. I'd already been doing some independent, you know, podcasts and things like that, but it started picking up around like 2010, 2011, 2012. So from there, I was just grinding. And then 2016, I just noticed LA was getting a little done. You know what I mean? It's rebuilding year. They're trying to figure things out. It was a lot of tragedies. You know what I'm saying? I know the Nipsey stuff happened a little after, but it's just a lot of things going on in LA. So it's just, I was kind of already knowing. So I was like, man, I'm about to take my talents out to Vegas, but I'm just thinking about it. I'm not really acting on it. And I had my partner. He hit me, and he was working at Chateau, like I told you. And he was like, man, G, the way your mind work, and this is when Chateau was popping, man. You know, shots out to Chateau, but
it's falling off a little bit.
All right, I mean, hey, you know what I mean, don't come shoot the messenger. Jake said it, you know. But I concur. But yeah, man. So he told me to come to Chateau. He's like, man, come do VIP hosting and stuff like that, man. Like another opportunity. And like I said, at that point in my life, you know, it wasn't 2008, and my financials was good. It got a little shaky with the real estate situation, because like I told you, you know, me and my mom, we owned the duplex. So in 2009, I had my son in 2008. The real estate market slapped everybody in the face. Had to get back, had to get right. Got everything going. Like I said, 2012 Marina, boom. I'm figuring out everything. Let me switch up the game. My guy said, come out to Vegas 2016. I'm pondering it, pondering. I called my big brother, like, what you want to do, man? Like, because I don't like making moves. Like he had family out here, and you know, their brothers. But we gotta, like you say, gotta have a team, man. If I'm making a real move for my family, you know what I'm saying? I can't just, and I'm talking about I have clairvoyant just confidence in myself, but you still gotta have that team. You always want to have somebody here that's got your interest, that's gonna film you while the cameras is rolling. Shouts out to Dame Dash. I got that from Dame. He got a film person filming a film person. I always love that. So yeah, you know, he was like, look, G, he had a couple spots in a couple different states. He was like, look, we gonna do this Vegas thing, man. We gonna do this Vegas thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The way that you move, we gonna do it. And I thought he was capping, like, you know, like not like he's joking, because he don't never cap. You know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. That's my dog. Like he's really, and like I said, if I'm an only child and I call him my brother, you feel me? So it's like, I was just like, you know, you didn't know he had his own situation going. Man, he must have called me and was like, look, he was like, you ready? He just called me randomly, Jay. I cannot lie to you. Said, you ready? I've been stressing for like 2-3 days. Hadn't heard from him. He said, you ready? I said, what you mean ready? He said, we going. You know what I'm saying? We there. So I was like, all right, bet. We came out to Vegas, looked at the spot. You know, we made sure everything was good. Went back, took care of everything, went back to LA. So I'm like, all right, bet, whatever. He called me the next week. You ready? I'm like, what you mean you ready? He said, come on outside. Come outside. We swooped there. He had the whole thing furnished. Like, he really like, and this is what people need. He sees me as a franchise player. He's like, G, I got you the franchise. I got the spot for us. You feel me? You do the rest. I go to Chateau. I start grinding. I get the job with, you know, I already had the job, go to the interview, body that. I mean, it was, you know, I just had to meet the guy. After I meet the guy, do that. A month later, I'm VIP hosting. I run into ML Billion. Shouts out to my guy Jonas. Jonas was doing VIP hosting for them. They made a connection. You know, he said, hey, I think you should meet my business partner. I meet him. He's like, I like the way that you move, man. You should be executive lifestyle branded for my company. Within a month, I'm working with him. Branded their company, got them popping. You know, he didn't know about Instagram. He didn't know about any of these things at that time. You know, he was fly, got the Lambos, as you can see and stuff like that. You know, that was my business partner. I'm not flexing. You know, I'm gonna get mine. You know,
the videos.
Yeah. But that's him. Shouts out to the team. But that's him. You know, if I was to get on here and say that's me, like he would want that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just who he is. You know, he's the type of person that, you know, if I was to ask him for money, he gives me opportunity. You know, I asked him for some money to fund some projects. He said I can give you that. But once he saw my show get on Amazon Prime, he built the film studio and said, I'm gonna give you that. You know what I'm saying? So he's that type of dude. So that was love. So after I linked up with him, I mean, the rest is kind of history. I did Vegas Social. After I did Vegas Social, now they're blown up. But what it was in the beginning is when I met him around 2016, Floyd was in his last fights. And when people think about Flashy and Fly, they think about Floyd. I said, look, I can brand you to be the best, and everybody's thinking about you because Floyd's about to, you know, you're from Vegas. When Floyd is Floyd, he's Floyd. But when he retired, it's not like it dimmed out. It's just, he's just doing him now. It's not about that. So I said, we can do the billion thing. So we just had t-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts, and he would put it on the car. And just over time, the evolution went from 5,000 to 1,000 now, you know, 300,000 followers. He's crazy on Clubhouse. He's traveling all over the world. He's talking about trade lines, you know, private equity and all of these type of financial freedom. So that's my mentor. He's one of the ones that said, man, the reason why I got more money than you, G, is because I make more mistakes. That's what he said. He said, I get up at 3 a.m. So imagine if he said, I get up at 3, and if I do a million things wrong, by the time you get up at 10, you don't even know I did it wrong. They're making more mistakes. So if I invest in this many things, you know what I'm saying? And then I started living that. You know, you wake up at 3 a.m., say you're having a bad day, you arguing with this person. People don't understand decompression time. You argue with somebody, the argument take an hour, it might take you 3 hours, just like hindsight. You live through something in 1 year, you're not going to understand it. It's going to take 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that decompression time, but you can argue, fight, go work out, shoot, this, that, and the third. It's only 12 o'clock. But if you wake up at 12 and you have that same day, you wouldn't have even gotten back to your true essence to really push on till the day's already over. So it's like he put me on that mindset. You know what I'm saying? He really kept me in that mindset, and he literally lived it. Once I did my job, he did his job, and he really lived it. He always called me 24/7 G because, you know, in the beginning, he was like, man, I need you with me 24/7. And I was like, yo, I got a son, you know, I'm moving it the way I'm moving. And it was early, so he didn't really get it. And it's like now he gets it. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first went over to the studio when they first built it, and I hadn't seen him in a minute. And the way he was just looking at me, he was like, man, he's like, I see you, and you got it. And then I specifically asked him, I said, because, you know, I was doing a lot of deals with Interscope and things like that. I said, I just want to make sure that when I'm on these boards and I'm talking to these people, in the drop of a dime, and this is my dog, but, you know, you got to check your dog. Like,
you have to.
I said, at the drop of a dime, man, you feel me? I'm letting him know I can get you on that phone. He said, man, don't even drop of a dime, EG. Which one of these cars you want? And this is the difference between me and everybody else, Jake. The Hummer was there. The Lambo was there. This is facts. I said, don't even worry about it, man. I'll come back for it. That was years ago. Like I said, I haven't, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. As long as I know you got my back, brother, I don't even got a trip. And that's what people got to understand. If you know life or God already at your back, you don't got to quote unquote chase nothing. It's all going to fall in your lap. So boom, that happened. And fast forward to last year. Last year, I've been doing great works, with a lot of my artists. Shouts out to Verse, the legend. Shouts out to, he got his first Billboard plaque. So I got my first Billboard plaque, number 24, as an executive. Beautiful, man. This is great. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to B. Taylor. He just did the pregame for the Super Bowl. That's another artist I do a lot of management with and things like that. Shouts out to my guy Mozzie VS. We've been moving and shaking. He just did. He just won almost $1 million. Off of one bet. He's going crazy, man. Shouts out to my guy. He's got a new tape going soon. We on a nationwide tour as well. And once the pandemic hit, that's what I've been doing, man. I've been booking these nationwide tours, and I've been moving in a matter of vein. Like everybody else shuts down. You can't move like that. You have to do your research, and you have to be in those circles so you can really understand. And that's what brought us here, Jake. I hope I didn't get too gone. I just wanted to wrap it up in a nice little bow for you.
I love it that you presented it perfectly.
Appreciate it.
I love that mindset that you have with it. That's an incredible journey.
Oh man, bro, and that is the beginning, right? and if I tell you, I live like 5 kings in that month before Billion said, get off the corner and come hang with me. Using the business is crazy, man. Because my first day working on the strip, it was the first week of spring break weekend. Never forget it, brother.
Isn't that the beautiful part of Vegas? And we were talking about this in the elevator when we were coming out here. Mm-hmm. There's a big entrepreneur network out here in Vegas. Sometimes it's hard to find, but once you get plugged into that network, you realize that everybody knows each other. Everyone wants to help each other.
And that's why Vegas is like the new Hollywood. And that's what I've been working on. I've been shooting with Block Boy. Shouts out to my guy Irv the God. Shouts out to my guy Style Poe and Style Poe Stories. We're shooting that. Black entrepreneurship. My guy put his own money up. He's from New York. He lives out here, got his own studio, got his own artists. He has his own equipment, put his own money up, literally got the production team, and they shoot for everybody. Lifetime production team. Shouts out to my guy Ski. Shouts out to my guy Eli. Come on, like literally does that in the middle of a pandemic. And we filming and we rocking. And now he's filming a documentary that's going to go on Netflix with Aviani, the jeweler. They were just, he was just out there pulling up in Bentleys with Cameron and stuff. And I remember when I first met Irv, like a year ago, and it was literally on some business. And I met him up on some business, and then we started talking about music, and he started talking about film. And this is last year. And after he talks about that, he said, yo, we're going to do some film. And he was like, my dad's in film. He's based in that. I don't know if you're familiar with Losing Isaiah and Get Rich or Die Trying. Shouts out to my guy, Mark John.
I'm not familiar with them.
You never seen Get Rich or Die Trying with 50 Cent?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember Little 50. The guy to play Little 50. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in Block Boy too. So it's like, he has a lot of ties and we know in New York and, Juilliard, all the real actors. So he's in that world. And right when he looked at me, he was like, man, hey, we're going to do some films. And then we started working on music. I booked him on a nationwide tour last year. I had him out in Bakersfield. I had him out go with Bakersfield. Shouts out to my guy, Kev King. And then, he hit me like, yo, we about to do this Block Boy film, man. You know what I'm saying? I got this role for you. You know what I'm saying? Guapo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you peeped. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, Guapo, man. I'm like, Guapo. He's like, yo, show for Guapamole. I'm like, yeah, it better be Guapo. You ain't about to be calling me Guapamole. But, my guy Styles Poe, he was like, I want you, it's between this guy and this character, another character. So, rehearsals, I'm doing both of them. And then shouts out to my guy Cassius. He ended up playing the other role, and I ended up playing Guapo. So it was just a beautiful situation, man. 6 to 8 day shoot. I believe I was only on for 6 days. He's just on location, but just to see another young Black entrepreneur that's doing it all, and he showed me a blueprint. He got his own equipment and got the production team. The value in that, Irv, you my guy, and we kind of chopped it up about this, but I feel like he was just so smart about, if I own the equipment outside of the ownership, the production team doesn't have to be less anal about the equipment. It's not there, so they can just focus on the continuity and the integrity of the project. And that's why shouts out to my guy Ski again, man. Like, and if anybody's watching, please check out that Brian McKnight thing on BT. My guy Ski, he killed it. Eli, y'all killed it. Like, they don't have to be, it's more they're visual directors as opposed to just video guys. So, Irv, if that was your vision, dope. If it wasn't, it looked like that, you're the man. But just doing that in the pandemic, we filmed out at, I'm not sure if one of the guys that owned fish tanks, or it was some $6 million, $3 million crib. And we doing all of this, man, in the pandemic, in a depression and a recession, brother. Come on, Jake. It's just beautiful, but just that, on some brotherhood with me and Irv locked in, I remember he said that. and he was a man of his word, and we did that. So that's why he already know we locked in. You know, I've been booking him on tours whenever he's ready. He's just been shooting Avian. He ain't got time for me right now. He doing him, you know what I'm saying? Him and Styles, they living it up, man. So shouts out to the whole Block Boy team, man. Shouts out to Irv. Shouts out to Styles. You know, South Post. Shouts out to Wolf, you know what I'm saying? All of y'all, man. Shouts out to the whole Block Boy, man. Shouts out to No Free Show. You already know, man. We on.
It sounds like you guys are very good at cutting the fluff out of whatever these extracurricular news and media and activities and just focusing on doing you, especially in the pandemic.
Yes.
When you look back to the 2008 financial crisis, a lot of these unicorn billion-dollar companies were built in 2008. Yes. Uber was built in 2008, Airbnb. The social media companies.
That you remember that, Jake, is why you're the guy. See, I didn't even know that. So 2008 was such a dynamic
The iPhone was released in 2008.
Wow.
That's when
my son was born in 2008. I was born in 84. Man, Jordan was born.
I was gonna bring this up when you're going through the crazy journey. 2008 was a great year for you, and when people look at the world, they think it was a bad year for the world. But if you just focus on yourself and continue down this path of just your journey with no other lanes attached to it, just you there, you can build these great empires
immediately.
And all you have to do is just focus on yourself and realize that humanity as a whole, we get through all of these trials and tribulations, these very turbulent times. We always get through it. Humanity will always prevail. Mm-hmm. But for you to prevail, you have to focus on yourself and understand where you want to go. And that's exactly what you did. And you're doing this exact same thing from 2008 to now.
Yes. In
COVID, you're out here filming, and you realize that you have to pivot, and you have to work to whatever degree you can with all these different constraints that are around you, so that when life does get back to normal, or this new normal, or however you want to classify it,
we're ahead of whatever curve that is. Exactly. And you know, if this is what you want, go get it. You know, go reach out to people. You know, Jake's a solid guy. I just reached out. You know what I'm saying? Just reach out, because it's not gonna fall in my. This interview didn't fall in my lap, people. You know what I'm saying? And Jake's a great guy, but he didn't know who I was. We have to meet. You have to network. That a lot of people get on these social media things, and you can like, and then you can view, but I'm on another level. I'll almost unfollow you if we're not even networking. I don't give a damn about a like or a view at this point. Mm-hmm. But because I'm past that now, my upcoming artist that might, you know, that's not sufficient for me no more.
Yeah, you have to realize that social media is just a facilitator to conversation.
Exactly,
and that's all it is.
Just like that, like that universal la mota is. You know what I mean? It brings people together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what social media is.
And something that I've come to learn of this year that I've done the podcast is the majority of the people actually do respond to you, no matter how big their following is, or how pretentious you may view them, or whatever image that they're giving off on their social media account. They always respond genuinely. And then when you meet them in person, you're like, wow, you're just a normal human being, just like me.
Straight up, man.
With just a vision.
With a vision, with a good vision, you know, and you're actually consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, it's like integrity. Integrity, you know, another word that gets used loosely, but integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. So, like, don't say you have integrity. Like, you're by yourself, you're chilling. Go do research your craft. You know, something simple as everybody sees those Instagrams and the squares, and then it says promote now. You know how many of my clients and artists press the promote now button? Everybody says, so hard, it's so much money. For $7, you can get 300 more followers for I'm not making this up, right, guys? For $10 to 27. I'm sorry, am I breaking the bank? Are those Yeezys? Those are $100,000. So, just, you know, stop with the excuses. And I talk like this to the biggest and the biggest. So, you know, your favorite artists, your favorite celebrities. You know, stop it, guys, because you can do it if you choose to. My mom always used to tell me, you know, you have selective memory. You know, because my mom loves to read. She's an avid reader. Meant to say that when you're talking about reading, she's an avid reader. You know, people hear me talk and how I can articulate, and they might think I read a lot. You know, not so much as one might think, maybe, possibly, but if I like it, I'm gonna dive in. So it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I used to say that. My mom used to say, nah, stop saying you don't like reading. It gives off and you do if it's something you like. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, mom. You know what I mean? So that's true, because, I mean, you know, mom, she like, I love reading. Don't be fucking up that reading stuff. So shouts out to my mom, man.
It's a combination of being consistent and also curiosity. This is something that curiosity is something I try to focus on all the time.
Right.
If you're generally a curious person, you will succeed because your mind will go down all these different avenues and explore all of these different industries and disciplines that you ever that you didn't even know existed. And then the more that you learn, the more that you could connect together.
That's the connection.
And you start making those realizations. The first time I ever did mushrooms, I realized that
I did that shit one time. That's the only shit I ever done. I never done nothing else in my life. I even plug my nose when I swim. So I've never done nothing else. I smoke weed, regular stuff. But man,
it's crazy. It expands your mind. I realized that the world is this, or how I viewed it was this giant spider web, and in all these different intersections of this spider web were all these different industries and knowledge banks and personalities, and I realized everything's connected in the spider web. Anything could be connected. There's an infinite amount of niches that can be created, and all of the niches are created based off of your own experiences. So you have to be like Nike. Just go out there and do it. Boom. It's simple, plain like that.
Boom. You feel me? And it's like, when Will Smith did 6 degrees of separation, it's only 1 degree of separation. Now I had that conversation with my mom, just a couple nights ago. It's one, I'm sure between me and you, we know Vegas. Mm-hmm. I mean, you were born and raised here, so just me knowing you, now I'm privy to all of that information, and now you're privy to all information, and then we're privy to information that we subconsciously don't even understand. You don't fully. We're just meeting, so I couldn't even fathom how much we could help each other, or things could happen or to that nature, because you just never know. It's so much that comes with that. You know what I'm saying?
It's so beautiful. Just going along the lines of decompression, right? After we know each other, we start to understand like the things that we post, and you're in each other's mind, and then maybe 2 months down the road, you meet somebody and you're like, oh, you would be a perfect fit for Jake's podcast, right?
Or that's how I approached you. That's because I'm not sure if that was one of the things that you, had you acclimated, like, okay, who he's rocking, because I was like, it's me and I have other artists as well, which fits what I was seeing. You know what I'm saying? If you're about putting quality people on, and of course I have quality people regardless of their growth, but I want to give you a balance, because at the end of the day, some people like to see the numbers because they're fickle, and some people just want to see the message. So let's integrate everything, and then everybody wins. That's how I came at it. Like, man, let's have some good content, and let's rock out. I mean, I'm a good judge of character. I'm only going to bring people that's going to be good vibes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I proposed this question on Twitter a few months ago, and I said, would you rather have 1 million social media followers or 1,000 successful entrepreneurs in your personal network?
The second one. Yeah. There's one, for sure. It was
about 50-50, but I was like, if I have 1,000 successful entrepreneurs in my phone book,
it's over.
You could do anything.
You're gonna make way more than 1 million followers or $1 million with that.
And you do it one at a time, just simple conversations like this, and just hitting that beloved social network effect.
For sure. That's like you asking me if you ask me would I rap, and I'm not a foreign exotic clothes. I used to do all that stuff. I let y'all have it now. But if you was to ask like, yo, G, would you rather go to Saks and get some Gucci or go get some Target? I'd say Target. But if you said, would you rather own Gucci or Target? I'm on Target. You get what I'm saying? So
yes. Ooh, I like that.
You get what I'm saying? Because you gotta. It's almost like, do you want one thing for $1 million? I'd rather sell one item for $1 to 1 million people, because now the door's open. Now I can have that's 100. That's 1 million conversations. I'd rather have 1 million conversations than $1 million. Those conversations, 1 million conversations. Remember that year when Lil Wayne had 1,000 songs? He killed the whole year because regardless if he was already better, he already better than y'all, and he outworked you. If I outwork you, I win. It's a numbers game. Did you have 1,000 songs? Did you? No. So no. You lose, and that's how. And that's what it's about.
Conversations and personal connections lead to tertiary effects. Just like we were presenting before, something comes up in your life 2 months from now, and you're like, oh my God,
this
match
is the guy.
make. Yeah,
right.
This is great.
And that's how it works, man. And that's like, me, I always all my partners and stuff, I always call myself like Ari Gold. I'm like Ari Diamonds, because I love Entourage, and like what we're creating is like the Black Entourage, but that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know this Entourage, I'm not sure if you like Entourage, but it's like one phone call, the variable change that happens in one phone call, one moment, one movement. And that's the industry. That's the game. That's how it works. So it's like, you know, I get that one call and I'm on set and they're filming and they need somebody that has this, yo, Jake, yo, hey, man, I happen to be on set, man. And man, they like, you just never know. And that's how it happened. And then you watching them get the Grammys and they telling that success story that happened from those moments. You know what I'm saying? Those success moments ain't, you know, you ever heard somebody tell a thank you speech? It's always from their toughest, grindest struggle, you know, where they shed tears or whether they're just trying to say this isn't for me. This is for my fallen one, or this is for my mom. Because it's that moment, you know what I'm saying? It's that moment that means more than everything. Like you said, that feeling, what the things that we think we mean, it doesn't matter. But the feeling that comes with love and respect and shit, fuck, but those words ain't nothing. But the feeling that comes with every single one of those words is what changes the game. Yeah.
Life rewards those who go out and fucking take it.
Hey, man, facts.
It's how we have to end it. Before we get out of here, I always ask one common question to everybody. The question is, what does Las Vegas mean to you?
Unlimited exponential opportunities for the flyest guy in the skies in human existence, which is G6 himself.
Perfect. That is the most common answer, is opportunity. Everyone realizes that. Out man. Here, you can be unlimited. Anybody that you want to be. We're still in the golden age.
Hey, when I came out here, I felt like I was James Bond because I was wearing a suit all the time and I was working in the clubs. You can be whoever you want to be. That's a fact.
Where do I send all of the listeners and viewers to learn more about you?
Anybody go on my Instagram, capital G6, Capital G6, even though that G is lowercase, but you know, we got these jokes. Just hit me on capital G6 on Instagram. You know, I don't want to send people in too many different directions. Everybody loves Instagram, capital G6, and then you can see the links in my bios there and all that type of stuff. Any artists that need management, anybody that needs any help with their careers, consulting, marketing, product placement, please tap in with me, man. Jake, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, love this conversation. It's blew everything out of the water.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Hey, and if anybody's noticing, he might have wrote a whole book of the notes, just like Bobby Boucher with the green notebook. He ain't even really looking at it. That's because we've been vibing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that he encompassed it because he do his homework. So we good money, man.
I enjoy, I have these notebooks. This is my third notebook now. I always write a page of notes on everybody, but I never write any questions down.
Right.
It's only
like bullet points.
It's only for reference if I have to refer to something, because at the end of the day, the most authentic conversations is what builds relationships.
Exactly. And what happens in the moment, it gives the best content. You know what I'm saying? People are going to know, man. They can feel it, man. Y'all going to get y'all goosebumps, man. Tap in with my guy, Jake, man. He number 6. We're going to make him number 1 next year. Let's get it.
We're going for it.
Let's go, man. We here, man.
Gio, thank you so much for coming on here. Appreciate it. Man. I look forward to continuing our friendship and doing this again sometime in the future.
Definitely friendship, man. Business relationship, man. Solid dude, man. Everybody, man. Come tap in with Jake, man. Don't be fronting, man. Don't come up here and start fronting, man, because he going to ice grill you. He was easy on me.
Give us the follows. Give us the follows, guys.
You already know.
Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.